Good evening, East Alabama. Welcome into the locker room on this Friday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. We've officially reached the final day of our first week of being back to 5 days a week, and we have a great show for you guys today. We're going to start our show with our EAN Scoreboard, recapping all the volleyball action from yesterday. Also, in our next segment, we're going to talk about Hope Christian Academy in Oxford. Had their first cross-country race of the season. Had a racer who finished in the top 15 overall out of 141 runners. Also, we're going to talk about Hope Christian Academy's volleyball program, who got another win. And then we're going to close the show just by quickly reviewing all the games that are taking place tonight. We did a further in-depth review earlier this week of the games for tonight, but we're going to quickly recap them. So if you're driving to a game right now and you're watching us, you can just get a quick little snippet preview of games, just Calhoun and Cleveland County teams. Hey, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the locker room. We're here Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Also, our East Alabama Now news is tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stidham and Kitty Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your local weather. And, of course, Jordan Smith brings you your sports. Don't forget about our EAN School Spirit competition going on right now. All you got to do is submit a video of your school, and you'll be entered in the competition. The guidelines on our page to make sure your school wins. All you got to do is simply hit that like button, follow, share, comment, and just make sure that everybody else in the community knows that your school has been submitted for the EAN School Spirit competition. All right, let's go out to our EAN scoreboard. Let's start the day with Ohatchee and Donahoe. Rebecca Hughes and Anna Taylor's two teams met last night. Donahoe took a 2-0 lead, took two sets. The first two sets, Donahoe won the first set 25-19, won the second set 28-16. But Ohatchee came back and won three straight sets to win it. They won the third set 25-15, fourth set 25-14, and the final set 15-7. Ohatchee wins three sets, Donahoe wins two. For Ohatchee, Rebecca Henderson had 16 kills, 21 digs, and 3 aces. Alana Fitch had 10 kills, 21 assists, 15 digs, 2 aces. Emily Riddle had 6 kills, 3 blocks. Brett Finn had 4 kills, 3 aces, 3 blocks. Savannah Reeves had 11 digs, 5 assists. Kate Ryan had 13 assists, 4 aces, 4 digs. Ayla Crook had 3 kills, and Bailey Fowler had 3 kills, as Ohatchee won in 5 sets over Donahoe. Next one we're going to talk about is the Faith Christian Lions. They had 2 games yesterday. The first one was against the Ranburne Bulldogs. Faith Christian swept Ranburne in 2 sets. They won one set 25-15, and the other set 25-17. The other game that Faith Christian swept yesterday was against the Tigers of Cleveland County. Faith Christian beat Cleveland County in 2 sets, 25-14 and 25-18. Annalai Daniel had 9 aces, 11 digs, 8 kills, 1 assist, and 1 block. Kaysen Cronin had 1 ace, 14 digs, 1 assist. Cheyenne Rice had 3 aces, 1 dig, 3 kills, 4 blocks. Anna Kate Robertson had 4 aces, 3 digs, 7 kills, 33 assists, and 1 block. Serenity Pate had 1 dig, 16 kills, 1 assist, and 3 blocks. Annie Reichert had 2 aces, 8 digs, 12 kills, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. Emma Shaw had 2 aces, 1 dig, 1 kill, 2 assists. Amy Hubbard had 4 digs, 1 assist, and Chloe Crocker had 1 kill as Faith Christian swept the day yesterday and got 2 wins. We moved to Alexandria. The Valley Cubs were at home yesterday. They hosted Brenda Vinson and the Welborn Panthers. And how about Coach Welch's team sweeping Welborn? They beat Welborn in 2 sets, 25-12 and 25-15. The other game that Alexandria played last night was an area game over Cherokee County. Now, Cherokee County actually took the first set 25-20, but Alexandria came back to win three straight sets and win the game in 4 sets, as Alexandria won the second set 25-18, won the third set 25-18, and won the fourth set 25-23. Yesterday, McKinley Cooper had 7 kills, 2 digs, 3 blocks, and 4 aces. Aaron Spradley had 22 kills, 1 assist, 4 digs, 4 blocks, 2 aces. Callie Jeffers had 8 kills, 1 assist, 3 blocks. Cassidy Hartsfield had 12 kills, 4 digs, 3 blocks, and 2 aces. Caden Pritchett had 9 kills, 4 digs, 1 block. Landry Patterson had 10 digs. Zaylee Mobbs had 3 kills, 5 digs, 3 aces. Shelby Morris had 1 dig and 3 aces. Charlie Paris had 2 kills, 2 assists, 17 digs. Sophie Martin had 2 kills, 44 assists, 7 digs, 4 blocks, 1 ace. And Callie Hess had 4 kills and 3 digs, as Alexandria swept the day and got an area play win over Cherokee County. We move to Oxford. How about the Yellow Jackets? Still undefeated, 11-0 on the season now for Coach McKibben and the Oxford Yellow Jackets. And I'll tell you what, they swept Jacksonville in 2 sets. They won the first set 25-14, second set 25 21. And the other team that they played yesterday was Sylacauga. The Aggies made the trip to Oxford. Oxford beat them in 2 sets as they beat Sylacauga 25-12 and 25-22. For Oxford yesterday, Peyton Brooks, 49 assists, 3 aces. Dalen Bozeman had 12 kills, 9 digs. Malia Prince had 27 kills. Jaslyn Montgomery had 8 kills and 2 blocks. And Erilyn Poole had 22 digs as the Oxford Yellow Jackets swept the day yesterday and stay undefeated on the season. That's the big thing for Oxford. They're still undefeated. Yesterday, the Piedmont Bulldogs were in action. They played 2 games. First one being against the Jacksonville Christian Academy Thunder. It was a dominant performance for Piedmont. They defeated JCA 25-6 and 25-16 in 2 sets. And the second game that Piedmont played yesterday was against the Sacs Wildcats. Also swept Sacs in 2 sets as they won a set 25-16 and 25-23. Carson Young had 4 kills, 2 digs, 1 ace, 1 block. Caleb Brothers had 10 kills, 2 aces, and 2 digs. Casey Brothers had 6 kills, 4 aces, 2 digs, and 2 blocks. Adeline Bailey had 27 assists, 2 digs, 3 aces. Melanie Studdard had 1 kill, 1 dig, 4 aces, 1 block. And Amaya Thomas had 13 kills, 5 digs, and 1 ace for Piedmont as they got the win over JCA and Sacs. The final one, Hope Christian Academy went head-to-head with Restoration Academy, and Hope Christian Academy won in 3 sets. They won 2 sets. Hope Christian Academy won the first set 25-17, lost the second set 25-20, and won the third set 15-8 as Hope Christian Academy coach Mallory Burns' team got the win over Restoration Academy. Speaking of Hope Christian Academy, we're going to talk more about them. We're going to talk more about the volleyball team that we just mentioned, getting their second win in school history, second win this season, which is their first season of having volleyball. Also, how about Hope Christian Academy's cross-country team? They were in action. They had a runner that finished in the top 15 out of 141 runners. We're going to talk more about him. We're going to talk more about the cross-country team as a whole, talk more about the volleyball team as a whole. We're going to talk about them in our next segment. All right, we're going to take a break. Don't go away. We'll be right back on this Friday evening as we continue on The Locker Room.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
We're back on The Locker Room on this Friday afternoon. We are now going to talk about the Hope Christian Academy Saints. Let me tell you what, Hope Christian Academy is in their second year of having a school, and Nick Burns does a phenomenal job leading this school. They're having a great administration, and their sports teams have been successful. I think you obviously go back to basketball, won their first game in school history. TJ Thompson, the head basketball coach. Volleyball team this year won their first game in school history. Mallory Burns is the volleyball coach. Cross-country team was in action this week. I'm not familiar with the coach, but I'm sure it's a great coach. And there's a lot of other great people across the board at Hope Christian Academy, looking at counseling, looking at the library, just so many other just teachers in general. I know a couple of them personally and know that the staff that Nick Burns has put together is really one of the top ones, I believe, out of any private Christian school in the state. And when you go have Robbie Brooks leading the baseball program, I mean, he could coach probably just about anywhere in the state of Alabama, and public, private, wherever. And he's leading Hope Christian Academy. So that tells you the staff that Nick Burns has put together to obviously be good spiritually first and foremost, be good academically, but also be good athletically. They really want to, of course, put competitive teams on the court, on the field, so that they can be a really good program all the way around. Now, Hope Christian Academy, we talked about the volleyball in our scoreboard segment. We're going to talk more about them in a minute, but I want to talk about the Hope Christian Academy cross-country team. Now, you see some of these guys right here. This picture was took by Beth Brickhouse Thomas, by the way. Beth does a phenomenal job. You go to her page, see different pictures. Has a son at Welborn, has a son at Hope Christian Academy, and I knew she wouldn't mind us using this picture, but I got to tell you what, great picture right here by Beth Brickhouse Thomas. You see some of the Hope Christian Academy runners right here waiting at the line pre-race, and they yesterday or this week competed in a cross-country race. They had 141 runners. There was 141 runners. Now, these guys and gals ran in a 2.2-mile race. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, if you just put me on the line, told me to run 2.2 miles, I don't think I would have finished as high as probably the top 100 or 41. Yeah, 141, because I'm pretty out of shape. But needless to say, you see the team right here pre-race. But I want to talk about one individual real quick, and that is Lawson Burns. Lawson Burns for Hope Christian Academy. In this race, out of 141 runners, Lawson Burns finished 12th overall. That is impressive. 12th overall out of 141 runners. He ran 2.2 miles in 13 minutes and 44 seconds. Yeah, we need to give Lawson Burns a round of applause, who is the son of Nick Burns, the principal of Hope Christian Academy. But you see Lawson Burns right there. That picture was took before, also I believe by Beth, yesterday, or it might have been the day before they had got ready for their race. But Lawson Burns, 12th overall out of 141 runners. Speaking of Lawson Burns, here he is in action right here. Again, picture from Beth Brickhouse Thomas. Also, again, great picture of Lawson right here going neck to neck with somebody else from another school. But ultimately, Lawson Burns would finish 12th overall. Great kid, by the way. He comes from a great family. I mean, you will not meet better people than the Burns family. And, man, just want to send a congratulations to Lawson. A big thank you to Nick Burns for sharing this information with us on Lawson. And again, let's take a look at this team as a whole. Here's the team. This picture is from the Hope Christian Academy Facebook page. And let's talk about this team overall. Lawson Burns did finish 12th overall with a time of 13 minutes and 44 seconds. But you see Micah Davis, 17 minutes and 34 seconds. Kix Hanley, 17 minutes and 48 seconds. Bryson Bradley, 20 minutes and 4 seconds. Daniel Morse, 23 minutes and 4 seconds. Hunter Blackwell, 23 minutes and 11 seconds. And Jarrett Thomas with a time of 24 minutes and 1 second. I can tell you what, from Jarrett Thomas to Lawson Burns and to everybody else in between, maybe it wasn't on that finished list right there, this team has worked hard. They worked hard in preparation to prepare for this race. And I just want to send a congratulations to the Hope Christian Academy cross country team on a great race. And hey, I can tell each and every one of you athletes, you finished higher than I would have finished in the cross country race. That's for sure. Not only was the Hope Christian Academy cross country team in action yesterday, but the volleyball team was in action. Mallory Burns' team got their first win of the season over Maxwell Middle earlier this season in their first ever game. And I got to tell you what, they were back in action yesterday. We mentioned it in our EAN Scoreboard. But the Hope Christian Academy volleyball team got the win over Restoration Academy. They beat Restoration Academy in 3 sets. Mallory Burns' team took the first set 25-17, did fall in the second set 25-20, and won the third set 15-8. And it is only their second win in school history. And I got to tell you what, Hope Christian Academy so far, I believe they've only played about 4 or 5 games. And so to already have 2 wins in your first season as a program, that is pretty impressive. I think Mallory Burns deserves her flowers for what she's doing with this Hope Christian Academy program. And I got to tell you, again, if you're looking for a great Christian school, like true, genuine Christian school, because I feel like in today's society, there's a lot of people that say they're Christian schools, but they're not genuine Christian schools, like actually preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, preaching the resurrection, right? Preaching the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. I know Hope Christian Academy is preaching that. You're going to get a great spiritual fill up, and then it's going to be education. Like, I know some of the teachers that they've hired. I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, TJ Martin's wife, Marla Martin. I know they brought her on staff this year. She is a phenomenal teacher, and she was over in Central Carrollton, Georgia before. They've obviously got so many others. Miss Amerson, who does, I believe, counseling and different things. Her husband is on staff. Those are 2 of the best people I've ever met in my life. And so the staff is top notch. And then guys, athletically, like you talk about Mallory Burns, they've already won 2 games in the first 4 or 5 games of their program. TJ Thompson leading the basketball program. I know TJ personally, great guy. Robbie Brooks is going to lead the baseball program. Again, he could probably coach anywhere in the state of Alabama. Helped put together the Chakalaka Monsters coaching staff, oversaw that operation that brought home a Sun Belt League championship this summer. So just top notch across the board when you look at Hope Christian Academy. And I'm just telling you, and no, they didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this myself. If you're looking for a true, genuine Christian place to put your kids where they can excel spiritually, physically, and educationally, athletically, mentally, emotionally, I really believe. Hey, talk about the library too. I got a great person leading the library. She was, of course, my librarian when I was in school, and Donna does a phenomenal job there. So, I mean, it's all the way around, guys. It's a great place to be. Hope Christian Academy is on the rise, and I'm telling you what, you better get on board because great things are going to happen with Nick Burns leading this place. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to kind of close the show by just kind of previewing tonight's football games. We did this earlier in the week, so we're not going to get in the weeds like we did earlier in the week. We're just going to kind of quickly preview. I don't know why I'm saying recap. It's not over. It's about to start. Preview every game as you continue to tune in on this Friday evening. So don't go away. We'll be right back as we continue on the Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back on the Locker Room on this Friday afternoon on our East Alabama Now page. Hey, I always remind you in our first segment and our final segment to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss anything. We have our EAN News tonight at 6:30 p.m. Jordan Smith will have your sports. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will have your local news, and then John Holder will have your local weather. What streets are going to be on tonight? Well, I don't know. I'll find out just like you guys, but we do have a great, beautiful Friday night ahead for high school football right here in the state of Alabama. So, hey, we talked about Hope Christian Academy in our last segment. We talked about our EAN Scoreboard. Now we're just going to kind of quickly preview all the games for tonight. We did a preview earlier this week, but this one will be a little more in-depth. So let's start with probably what is the game of the week, and it is at the Creek Bank as the Ohatchee Indians will host Locust Fork. Ohatchee and Locust Fork are both coming off of wins. Ohatchee last week defeated New Hope in a game that broke state records across the board. Over 70-plus points were scored for both teams, but ultimately Ohatchee did get the win over New Hope. Locust Fork started the season with a dominating win over Aniana, and so they have probably one of the best quarterbacks in this region, one of the best quarterbacks in Class 3A. Everybody's been talking about what's Locust Fork going to be like in this region. We find out for the first time tonight when they make the trip to the Creek Bank to face Coach Chris Finley and the Ohatchee Indians. I'm going to go out and make some predictions today. I said I didn't do predictions earlier this week. I'm going to make predictions today, and we'll see how I do. Locust Fork at Ohatchee. I tell you what, I think Ohatchee cleans up some of the defensive things from last week, and I think we're going to see Ohatchee get the win over Locust Fork tonight. All right, the next game we're going to talk about, Ranburne is going on the road to Woodland. Just like Randolph County and Woodland played in that Grocery Bowl game a week ago, this is a little bit of a rivalry game in a way. Ranburne is going on the road to Woodland tonight. Woodland, of course, has a new head coach, Stephen Bailey, still leading this Ranburne program. Quickly, when I look at this game, I think it's just going to come down to really depth. I think Ranburne has more depth, so I'm going to go with Ranburne to get the win over Woodland. The next one's Welborn at J.B. Pennington. Everybody's talking about J.B. Pennington. They think they're a little underrated. They're a team not really being talked about. I think everybody's focusing on Locust Fork. But for me personally, my roots run deep for the Welborn Panthers. I think everybody talked about Jabari Williams moving in the offseason. They were pressing the panic mode. Are you going to lose this player? Are you going to lose that player? Well, as far as I know, Raymond Williams is going to do a great job running the ball. Kyle Bright is going to be a big player for Welborn. Jackson Newton, Isaiah Anderson at quarterback. I think Welborn goes on the road. They do have to go on the road to open area play, region play. They do have to go to a place they're not really familiar with. They played Pennington in the playoffs a couple of years ago, but that game was at home. They got to make the trip to Pennington. But Coach Smith's team always plays better at the beginning of the season than they do at the end. And I think last year is because of injuries that kind of created that. So I think who's the more disciplined, more prepared team at the moment? I think it's Welborn. And so I'm going with Welborn to get the win over JB Pennington. Next game we're going to talk about, how about the Oxford Yellow Jackets and the Moody Blue Devils? Last week, Moody played Gainesville, Georgia. Oxford played Central Carrollton, Georgia. Moody was at home. Oxford was on the road. I believe Oxford had over 500 plus, maybe 700 plus yards last week in total offense. They came back from behind to beat Central Carrollton, Georgia, which, by the way, Central Carrollton, Georgia was a 12-1 team a year ago. I don't think people realize how good that team really was that Oxford played a week ago. For Moody, they played Coach Josh Niblett, former Hoover coach, now at Gainesville, Georgia, the Red Elephants. And it was, of course, Gainesville that won that game. Got to give props to Coach Gannis, though, for this schedule he put together. They make the trip to Lamar Field tonight. It's the home opener for Oxford in the regular season. I like the Oxford Yellow Jackets to get the win over Moody. Also tonight, Anniston is hosting Beauregard. A little bit of unknowns. Not a lot of people know about Beauregard. Now, Beauregard, though, traditionally has had some good players in history. Obviously, had a running back 2014, 2015, who was really, really good. Anniston, though, is talented. Look, Coach Rico Jackson's got a really talented team. This is their turf opener. They're opening up that new turf tonight. First game on the new turf. First game at the new revamped Lot Mosby Stadium. Everybody in the Anniston community is going to be coming out to support the Bulldogs. I think Anniston gets the win over Beauregard tonight at Lot Mosby Stadium on the new turf. Also tonight, Cleburne County and Sardis go head-to-head. Last week, Sardis had a little bit of a rough start, but tonight they're going to go on the road to Cleburne County to face the Tigers. Cleburne County played Anniston in a jamboree game a week ago. It's the home opener for Cleburne County. It's the first game of the regular season. Von Lee's first game as the new head coach at Cleburne County. Sardis is coming in, looking to kind of respond from the way things ended last week. I think this is going to be a really, really close game, but I'm going to have to go towards Sardis. I'm going to give Sardis the win over Cleburne County in a very, very close and tight game. Next one we're going to talk about, Jonathan Miller's return to Jack Stewart Field. He was one of the winningest coaches in Sacs football history. I even said a couple years ago they need to change Jack Stewart Field to Jonathan Miller Field because I'll tell you what, or Jack Stewart Stadium to Jonathan Miller Stadium because of what he did at Sacs. The last time Jonathan Miller was the head coach on the Sacs sidelines, they played Piedmont in the playoffs. That's the last time these two teams, or that wasn't the last time he was on the Sacs sideline. That's the last time these two teams met, was in that semifinals game where it was a heartbreaker and Jonathan Miller's Wildcats had just came up short. That was the last time these two teams met. Now, of course, Jonathan Miller last coached at Sacs, of course, 2 seasons ago, and then he came over to Piedmont a year ago. They got a big win over Cherokee County last week. For Sacs, they fell to Horseshoe Bend last week. It's going to be a tough game for Sacs. I'm going to take Piedmont to get the win on the road over Sacs tonight. Final game we're going to talk about, 2 teams coming off wins. Jonathan Nixon, the Raiders, won last week at West End. Spring Garden won at home against Sandrock. I think this is going to be a much closer game. I think it's going to be a great game. I'm going to give the edge to Spring Garden because of the amount of experience, veteran leadership they had come back. But I could see Pleasant Valley winning this game. I wouldn't be surprised if Pleasant Valley wins this game. But I am going to go with Spring Garden. I'm going to lean Spring Garden, go with the Panthers tonight over Pleasant Valley. These 2 teams will meet at Raider Stadium in Pleasant Valley. All right, so those are just a couple Pitts pick'ems on East Alabama now to kind of get you guys ready. Kickoff is almost here, actually, just a little under an hour now, or a little over an hour, I should say. And then it's going to be time for some high school football here in East Alabama now. Hey, I want to remind you, make sure to watch High School Football Alabama tonight. It's after the game. It's the top scoreboard show in East Alabama, one of the top scoreboard shows in the state of Alabama. John Holder, Chad Barnett, Michael Short, Jordan Smith, the whole crew across the board do a phenomenal job with High School Football Alabama after the game. Coach Ken Kofer going to be in studio tonight. Coach Jonathan Miller going to be in studio tonight. You're going to want to watch High School Football Alabama's after the game right here on Facebook on the High School Football Alabama after the game page. You can also check out their website. All right, that's going to do it for us. Stay on the locker room. That's going to do it for us on East Alabama Now. Hope you all have a great evening. Hey, be safe out there traveling to games. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here. We're off Monday because of Labor Day. We'll see you back here Tuesday on the Locker Room on East Alabama Now.